Coming to you live from the Dempsey Sports Complex at Canisius University in Buffalo, New York. It is the Catholic High School Girls Lacrosse New York State Championship in Class A as the Nichols Vikings host the St. John the Baptist Cougars in action right here on Western New York Athletics. Once again, a big thank you to our sponsors, the Monsignor Martin Athletic Association and its member schools, along with Logistics Plus. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making us part of your Monday afternoon. I am Joe Kraus. Tim Gardner is our producer. Russ Pataglia is our cameraman upstairs as we have a big contest on hand, and it is also the first time that Nichols and St. John the Baptist are squaring off, and it's going to be a good one going for the Catholic High School Class A Championship in New York State. The host, Nichols Vikings, coming into today's contest with a 15-1 record, 12-0 during the regular season Monsignor Martin play. They had 2 postseason victories to clinch their 4th Monsignor Martin postseason title in the last 5 years, a 17-5 win against Buffalo Seminary on May 12th, and then 2 days later a 10-6 win for the title over Nardin Academy. Getting a chance to talk with head coach Beth Stone, who has been part of the Nichols community since 1981, 39 years as a teacher until she retired in 2020, but still at the helm of the program. And she said every year, once the calendar crosses into May, the team starts to find its stride, and they are once again back competing for a state tournament. They were Catholic State finalists back in 2022, and they also have had success in the past competing for the Midwest School Lacrosse Association. Back in the day, they won 3 times in 2011, 2014, and 2016. Couple of big players to keep an eye on for the Vikings. We'll start with Claire Gordon, only a sophomore as a midfielder, 68 goals, 29 assists, and 97 points in only 16 games for the Vikings. Very impressive start for Claire this season. Head coach Beth Stone said that she is a hustler and has a true love for the game of lacrosse that has just become contagious for the rest of the team, and it'll be the freshman Alexis Mayashita in net. Mayashita coming in with an 11-1 record, a 5.5 goals against average, and saving just over 53% of her shots. Mayashita bringing the experience from her box travel experience and coming over to the Nichols program, just very good at calling out open plays, and that'll be a key against the St. John the Baptist Cougars, who have brought a good fan base from Long Island, about a 7-hour trip, just a little bit over 7 hours for the Cougars, and head coach Janine Perrone in her 17th season at the helm with the Cougars. The Cougars are 6-13 on the season, went 1-9 in league play, but a tough stretch downstate, of course. There was a recent merging of the leagues in downstate coming into this year, and the Cougars, it's their second year in Class A after dropping down from Class AA after the 2023 campaign. But the team and the Cougars, Coach Perrone said to us this morning that they are good to go, only had to make 2 stops on the way up from Long Island, and they are ready to compete and try to bring home another state championship to its trophy cases back home at St. John the Baptist High School down in Long Island. Sophia Virgilio, the hot player offensively for the Cougars, 70 goals, 95 points overall, and she is off to Connecticut College next year. The facilitator for the Cougars, also a second-year captain, the heart and soul of the team, and she is looking to help the Cougars get off to a good start today against a Nichols Vikings program that has only allowed 85 goals on the season. In comparison, St. John the Baptist has scored 181 goals. That's an average of 9.5 goals per contest. There is no shot clock in today's contest. Nichols is going to go left to right on your dial. Both teams had all of their players introduced before the contest got underway. And as we said, Alexis Mayashita is the starting goaltender for Nichols, and in net for St. John the Baptist, it is sophomore Chloe Maravilla. This is Chloe's first year ever playing the sport of lacrosse, and she has been very helpful. She has the nice height, as Coach Perone said, from volleyball, and that's resulted in Maryville recording 97 saves on the season. We are underway with the opening draw control. Thanks again for making us part of your Monday afternoon. Whether you're tuning in from Western New York or from downstate, this is Western New York Athletics, dedicated to covering high school sports in Western New York since 2016. Here come the Nichols Vikings on the attack. Getting poked from behind is Gwen Sheeling. Sheeling with 57 goals, 74 points on the year for the Vikings. Another top player offensively for the Vikings. Quick pass in front. Vikings relay for Claire Gordon. It is intercepted. And now working on the far side is the Cougars. The ball is then scooped up by the Nichols Vikings. Cloudy skies, but a lot of sunshine here at Canisius University. Our game time temperature of 55 degrees, mostly cloudy, with wind gusts up to 15 miles per hour. Our first reset of the contest goes in favor of the Nichols Vikings, wearing their home white uniforms with the green numerals, and the Cougars from St. John the Baptist wearing their road red uniforms with the white numerals. So we will have our first penalty of the contest, a non-releasable 2-minute penalty of St. John the Baptist and a French, called for 2 minutes, a check to the head, non-releasable. So Nichols with its first man advantage opportunity of the day. The pass a little high from Ilsa Newman. It is picked up by the Cougars. Cougars making their way over midfield. A little bump provided by Newman. The ball is loose again. Cougars near midfield, just behind midfield now. It will have a reset. The Cougars will try again with Meg Schotter, the sophomore, making the pass over. Here come the Cougars. Fiona O'Connor stepping in. She gets the pass off to Ella Tracy. Here's Sophia Virgilio, number 18 on your screen. As we said, 70 goals in her senior campaign. Now Sarah Tracy. Tracy going around Evie Wolcott of Nichols. Tracy getting the pass behind. Another reset. And the Cougars will try again. It's a little too much contact there from Nichols. Eleven players for the Cougars have scored at least one goal this season. I mentioned Virgilio with the team high of 70. Violet Harrison coming into today's contest with 33. Preston Harrison right behind with 21. Cougars going to work offensively. Here's Preston Harrison off the screen. She moves to her left. Now Virgilio. Virgilio has the open space on the short side. Going in, putting up the shot. A little high, and we should have a free position opportunity coming up for Sophia Virgilio. Virgilio was on the drive, getting the contact, and now she will go one-on-one against the freshman, Alexis Mayashita. Senior ready to shoot against the freshman. Early start, good crowd on hand, cheering on both the Vikings and the Cougars. Virgilio steps in, shoots, and scores. A low shot going in on the left side of Mayashita, and the Cougars take the 1-0 lead. Sophia Virgilio, as good as advertised, as we'll take a look again. A nice low shot. And that is how we'll start the scoring with under 9 minutes to play in this first period. Nichols trying to respond. We'll have a reset. And now possession for the Nichols Vikings. Evie Wolcott had great success for the Vikings over the past few winters with the Nichols girls basketball program. She'll now continue on her basketball career at Williams College next year. She gets the feed from Bella Casillo, and the Vikings are now working behind the net, behind Chloe Maravilla. Vikings on the far side. This is Newman. Newman looking to create some space against Meg Schotter. Newman turns, gets the pass a little high, not secure, and it's picked up by the Cougars, Bella Barone. Barone, the senior, in transition. A midfielder and defender for Coach Perone. And St. John the Baptist, who already has a 1-0 lead. Big skirmish near midfield. It is picked up by the Vikings. Vikings looking to reset in their defensive zone through the traffic. A great job by Cecilia Stewart. Now making her way up is Haley Ritling. Ritling turns. Now Casillo. Casillo, the sophomore. 26 goals, 37 points on the season. And Boscarino now navigating behind the net. Here's Casillo. Casillo makes her way. Then gets a handoff to Gordon. Claire Gordon with a burst of speed, but a nice save by Maravilla. Claire Gordon finding the open space in the middle of the defense of the Cougars, but Maravilla dead on, making the stop, denying the first shot on goal today for the Vikings. Cougars in transition. Now making their way over midfield. Here's Sarah Tracy. Tracy going past the Nichols sideline. Tracy guarded on the far side. A low pass. It gets over to Anna front. She takes a low shot. Ball takes a couple extra bounces. It's picked up by Virgilio. She gives a quick swing to Caitlin Schotter. Cougars will try again. Quick perimeter passing from the Cougars to start this contest. Here's Fiona O'Connor. Now Ella Tracy. The cross in front. A low shot saved by Mayashita. Able to deny Virgilio that time. Nichols trying to get out of their own zone. Here's Kylie Nolan, one of the senior defenders for head coach Beth Stone. The Vikings now on the move offensively. Stepping in, Alexis Hudson. The cross in front. The shot a little low. And it's scooped up. The ball is by Maravilla. .540 and ticking left in the first period of the Catholic High School New York State Class A Championship. St. John the Baptist with the early 1-0 lead over Nichols. It was Sophia Virgilio with the free position opportunity that was converted at the 8:50 mark for our lone goal so far today. Now a discussion amongst the officials. So after the discussion, it will be Nichols' possession. Here's Abby Locke. Now Gordon. Gordon gets the flip over to Casillo. Casillo spins to her right, then shoots a shot going just wide. Going wide left, Nichols will try again. Good effort from Bella that time for the Vikings. Reposition opportunity coming up. Nichols trying to respond. Stepping and firing a low save for Maravilla, denying Casolo. A little contact behind against Nichols, so possession going to the Cougars. Nichols started off the season winners of 11 straight. Turning point for the team, according to head coach Beth Stone, was taking a road trip to Ohio May 2nd and May 4th. 2 games against Cleveland Heights and then Medina, Ohio. It was a 1-goal win against Cleveland Heights, 14-13, and a 13-2 loss to Medina. But from that point on, head coach Beth Stone said the team, especially on offense, has found its chemistry. There is a penalty against Nichols, a 2-minute penalty against Ilsa Newman. So the Cougars on the attack once again, already with the 1-goal lead, looking to cash in on the man advantage. Here's Sarah Tracy. Now Virgilio on the near side, gets a little bump from Hayden Prince. Cougars will try again. Gia Camilla, the cross inside. Contact, the ball is loose. The Cougars still have it. 1:15 to go in the penalty against Newman of Nichols. Caitlin Schotter. Now Sarah Tracy. Virgilio again. Ella Tracy stepping up the cross in front, and it leads to a goal. The Cougars have the 2-0 lead. Great patience all around from the Cougars. Great patience as the cross going in and leading to the nice goal. Give credit to Anna French. Anna French at the right place at the right time. Great feed from Ella Tracy. And the Cougars have a 2-0 lead. Moving in transition was one of the keys that head coach Janine Perone shared with us earlier this week of what they'll have to do to secure the title. So far, the second goal coming from Anna French, coming off a nice cross from Ella Tracy. 2 members of the junior class teaming up for the Cougars on that scoring opportunity. Nichols trying to respond. Still 40 seconds left in the non-releasable penalty to Ilsa Newman. Wolcott finds Abby Locke. Locke looks to her right. Locke finds the open space. Looking for an open teammate. Cross going behind the net. Vikings now working on the far side. Under 3 minutes left in the first period. Abby Locke got to Gwen Sheeling. The high pass, just a little high, but tracking it down is Locke. Locke through the traffic, getting pressured. Tight defense from the Cougars, Sarah Tracy. Abby Locke will try again. Crossing pass a little behind Prince, but able to try to scoop it up is Mia Kessler. But the Cougars scoop it up. They're off to the races, going right to left. On the attack, here's Violet Harrison. The cross in front of low, shot and good for Ella Tracy. Once again, the Cougars are in transition. Ella Tracy on the receiving end. It's now 3-0 Cougars. Once again, the Cougars going right down the heart of the field. The cross and a nice connection. Ella Tracy, after setting up Anna French a moment ago, this time Ella is on the receiving end. And Nichols is going to call a timeout with 2:06 left in the first period. St. John the Baptist with an early 3-0 start over the Nichols Vikings. We'll be right back for more coverage of the Catholic High School New York State Class A Championship on Western New York Athletics.
If a picture's worth 1,000 words, and you only get one chance to make a first impression, then your professional image is pretty important to your career success. Hi, I'm BJ Stack, owner of Stack Studios, proudly introducing Headshots by Stacks. Did you know that according to LinkedIn, profiles with professional headshots get 21 times more views and 36 times more direct messages? That's a lot of attention. And with a Headshot by Stacks, you can be sure that your image will be the talk of the corporate town. Every Headshot by Stacks goes through a 3-step editing process. We whiten teeth, we erase blemishes, we soften shadows, we even change out backgrounds, just to name a few. So your headshot makes a first impression that lasts. And with our headshot packages starting at just $99, it's never been more affordable for you to look your best. So, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, what are people saying about you?
Welcome back to Canisius University. St. John the Baptist Cougars already recording 3 goals on 4 shots. Nichols looking for its first goal of the day. Only 2 shots on goal so far. Once again, the Cougars able to move in transition. The last opportunity able to provide Ella Tracy her first goal of the day in our current 3-0 lead. Once again, a big thank you to our sponsors, the Monsignor Martin Athletic Association and its schools, along with Logistics Plus of Buffalo, for sponsoring today's broadcast. Good crowd on hand, as we said. The Cougars of St. John the Baptist, 6-13 record overall. A tough stretch to start, including against Sacred Heart, Archbishop Molloy, St. Anthony's, St. Dominic. The list goes on, but the tough sledding for the Cougars, as head coach Janine Protolis got the team ready for the state tournament, as the Cougars knocked off Xerion back on May 13th in the state semifinal to get to this championship game today. Nichols trying to respond. A low pass looking for Stewart, but picked up by Locke. Abby Locke, the junior, gets the pass off the double team. Now cutting in is Stewart. High shot, but it's not going to count for Cecilia Stewart, who is now going to line up for a free position opportunity instead. Stewart was able to get a clean shot off of that. Now she'll try again. A low shot going left and out of bounds. Stewart, 10 goals, 13 points on the season. The Vikings will try again as we are approaching the final minute of this first period. Another low shot. Abby Locke looking to reset. Here come the Vikings. Wolcott. Now Alexis Hudson. Here's Locke, guarded by Sarah Tracy. Locke. Locke now gets the pass. Turnaround shot and another save for Maravilla. Able to deny a dead-on shot that time from Sheeling, as we are now approaching 30 seconds left in the first period. Maravilla scans the field. Now gets the pass. As we said, Maravilla coming into today's contest, 97 saves on the season. Both her and Ava Danziger are in their first season of playing lacrosse ever. And both have been a nice 1-2 tandem for the Cougars all season. Maravilla getting pressured from behind, pressured by Sheeling. Well, that is going to end our first period of play. St. John the Baptist taking over a 7-hour road trip to Western New York and have a 3-0 lead over the Nichols Vikings. We'll be right back for more coverage from Canisius University on Western New York Athletics.
Pitiful or powerful, It's the C4 Leadership Timeout. I'm Mike Masters, and today it's either pitiful or powerful. A leader who has knowledge and understanding will always lead with calm, cool, and power. But a leader who's hot-tempered will always play the fool and look pitiful. When expectation and reality don't meet, there is a big gap. You work so hard and you come up so short. I've been there. I know it. So now as a leader, you have a choice. Pitiful, powerful. React or respond, or responsibility. As a leader, I believe we have a responsibility to those that we lead to do it with power and cool or calm. So how do we do that? It's not if, but when reality and expectation won't meet. We understand that. So a leader of understanding and knowledge is always cool, not the fool. The timeout's over. We need to get back in the mix. And remember, love never fails because it's powerful.
And welcome back to Canisius University. A reminder to be sure to tune in tomorrow night here in Western New York for the Monsignor Martin Boys Lacrosse Championship right here on Western New York Athletics. The St. Francis Red Raiders, the number 4 seed, knocked off number 1 Nichols yesterday. And now they'll take on the St. Joe's Marauders, who scored 8 goals in the second half for a comeback 11-7 win over the Canisius Crusaders. The action starts at 6 p.m. right here on Western New York Athletics, our YouTube, Facebook, and X pages, which is how you are watching this contest today between the St. John the Baptist Cougars and the Nichols Vikings. My name is Joe Kraus. Thanks for making us part of your Monday afternoon. Big thanks once again to our producer, Tim Gardner, and our camera operator up top, Russ Battaglia, right here from the Dempsey Sports Complex at Canisius University, home of the Golden Griffins. We're going to have a draw control for the Cougars and the Vikings to start this second period. Sarah Tracy in action for the Cougars. We are underway. It is secured by the Vikings. Good draw control coming from Evie Wolcott. But the ball is loose and picked up by the Cougars. It goes back to the Vikings, however, off the turnover. Here's Claire Gordon coming in, getting tangled up. And a whistle is called. Claire Gordon a little shaken up after the contact from the Cougars. Gordon with a little bit of a limp. As you could see, Gordon coming in, getting tangled up. A little slippage as well on the drive against Nora Healy. But Claire Gordon, as you can see, showing a little bit of a limp right now, is going to attempt the free position opportunity. There is a substitution coming in, so head coach Beth Stode being cautious and having Claire Gordon go to the sideline. She is able to jog off without any assistance. So the Vikings will try here with Elsa Newman stepping in, low shot and good. So a substitution on the free position opportunity, and Nichols gets its first goal of the day. Great patience from number 22, Elsa Newman, getting the low shot and in on the short side of Maravilla. Great shot to get Nichols on the board. Make that the 17th goal of the season for Newman. And after going scoreless for over 12 minutes of play. The Nichols Vikings able to get a goal back and now trail the Cougars 3-1. Wolcott and Tracy again for the draw control. Ball takes a couple of bounces and then secured by Sarah Tracy. Here's Meg Schotter trying to make her way to midfield. Gets a little bump. The ball is loose again. Ground ball scooped up by Sarah Tracy. Tracy once again. And a reset is coming. Cougars still with possession. Nichols providing too much contact as the Cougars were trying to move their way upfield. This is Bella Barone. High pass. Secured and then tracked down by French. French finding her open teammate. High shot. And out of bounds coming from Preston Harrison. So Nichols has possession. Haley Rittling through the contact. Vikings will try again. Then a turnover in the defensive zone. Waiting for the Cougars. A shot going wide for Preston Harrison as French had the open feed. But the Cougars can't convert. Still with the 2-goal advantage. Here's Haley Rittling. Rittling getting pressured by Virgilio. Here come the Vikings. Vikings making their way over midfield. Cross inside. Here's Casolo. Casolo going behind. Just over 9 minutes left in the first half. Block on the near side. Shot. Takes a couple of bounces, and then it's scooped up by Preston Harrison. Harrison weaving her way through the traffic. Now getting pressured by Wolcott. You could see the height advantage between Evie and Preston right now. Preston making the pass over. Ball bounces off the stick, then scooped up here by Maravilla. Cougars now working on the far side of the field. Long pass in transition to Virgilio. Virgilio stepping in, going and shooting. Low shot and in. The Cougars once again in transition, finding their leading scorer, Sophia Virgilio, and the Cougars are up 4-1. Taking a look again, a pass right on the money to Sophia Virgilio, who takes it herself. You can see the little cradle as she comes right in, a low shot, finding the tough area against Mayashita. And Virgilio, her second goal of the day, makes this a 3-goal lead. 72nd goal of the season for Virgilio, as head coach Janine Perone spoke highly of her 4-year starter and 2-year captain, known as the facilitator and can lead the offense in all aspects. And the Cougars are up by 3, looking for another. The cross, a low shot denied by Mayasita. This time, the shot coming from Ella Tracy. And now a stoppage on the field. 8:22 left in the second period. There is an injured player for the Cougars at the moment. So while St. John the Baptist is taking a look at its player, so far the Cougars with 4 goals on 6 shots. Nichols cowering with 1 goal on 5 shots. Cougars have both of their timeouts remaining here in the first half. Nichols with 1 left. From our vantage point, it looks like it was Ella Tracy who was shaken up on the last play for the Cougars. Appears to be okay, able to walk to the sideline under her own power. So we will resume play between the Cougars and the Vikings. A free position opportunity coming up for St. John the Baptist. A quick pass to Virgilio. Takes it herself and scores as she gets knocked down. Sophia Virgilio recording her 3rd goal of the day, and the Cougars are up by 4. Just a great pass on the far side. Quick look to Virgilio, who goes through 1, 2, 3 defenders on her way towards the net. A great goal once again for Virgilio. And as a result, Virgilio now with a hat trick. We still have 8:17 left to go in the first half and another half to follow. Virgilio already racking up the milestones for the Cougars, as back on April 30th in the contest against Kellenberg, a 14-6 loss, Sophia Virgilio recorded her 200th career goal and 250th career point. Also is named to Newsday's top 100 lacrosse players on Long Island going into this year, and last year was named the league's player of the year. Now an open opportunity for Gia Semino. Gets the pass off to Violet Harrison. Now Sarah Tracy. Ball working on the far side of the field. Under 8 minutes to play in the second period. Driving in and scoring once again. Who else? Sophia Virgilio. And St. John the Baptist now pulling away with a 6-1 lead. Once again, the pass this time going along the end line, and one move and go right to the net, and Virgilio tacks on her 4th of the day. It is now 6-1 Cougars with 7:52 left to go in the second period. Cougars with a very successful rate offensively so far. Make it now 6 goals on 8 shots. And the Cougars posting 4 shots apiece through the first 2 periods of play. It is Wolcott and Tracy once again for the draw control. And it is scooped up by Gia Semino. 11 goals, 14 points on the year for the junior. Semino on the drive, taking it herself, and scores. Semino with some pressure on her right arm, able to get the shot off, and the Cougars are now up by 6. Once again, the Cougars in transition as Gia Semino, whose older sister Gabby was part of last year's team that won the state championship here in Class A. Now the younger sister Gia gets a turn and gets her first goal of the contest. It is now 7-1 St. John the Baptist with 7:39 left in the second period. Cougars jumped out to a 3-0 start at the end of period number 1. The Vikings were able to strike first here in the second period with Elsa Newman's goal just 38 seconds into period number 2. And since then, it has been all Cougars once again. Great start for the Cougars, making their first ever trip to Buffalo. Also the first time for head coach Janine Perrone. She did not compete up here as a player, but she did win 2 national championships at Adelphi in the early to mid-2000s, and now Perrone in her 17th year leading the Cougars in girls lacrosse. Also 19 years at the school. She has coached soccer, basketball, and also won a flag football championship with the school last year. This is the first time ever for the program and for Coach Perrone here in Buffalo. Here's Sarah Tracy. Nichols looking to get a stop here as the Cougars are logging up the minutes in the Nichols defensive zone. Low pass and then scooped up this time by Caitlin Schotter. Schotter trying to get the pass off, gets collided with, and here come the Vikings with Kylie Nolan. Nolan making her way on the far side of the field. Nolan and the Vikings going right to left in this second period. Sheeling. Now Wolcott. Cross inside. Casolo shoots, and it goes in. A nice goal for the Nichols Vikings. Bella Casolo on the receiving end. It's now 7-2 Cougars. Great patience as Wolcott gets the pass, finds the cutting Casolo inside, and getting the nice goal on the short side here to get the Vikings their first goal in nearly 6 minutes. 5:54 left in the second period. Casolo scoring her 27th goal of the year, and for Abby Wolcott, her 5th assist of the season. A big goal indeed for the Nichols Vikings in front of a home crowd here at Canisius University. Nichols School, less than 5 miles away from Canisius University. Nichols once again on the offensive attack as we have a stoppage as Wolcott was sent to the ground by a Cougars player. Wolcott will now reset here for the Vikings. Casolo. Now Locke. Back to Casolo. Bella moves to her left. It's the screen from Locke. Bella spins in, trying to get the shot off, but the tight defense of the Cougars closing in like a door. Nichols will try again. 5 minutes to go before the break. 7-2, St. John the Baptist as soaring in is Gwyn Sheeling, able to get another goal back for the Vikings. Gwyn Sheeling recording her 58th goal of the season as she gets a nice little handoff and makes her way towards the net on the short side. So the Vikings get back-to-back goals, and a timeout has been called by St. John the Baptist. We'll step aside as well. 4:57 left in the second period of the Catholic High School New York State Class A Championship. You are watching Western New York Athletics.
Welcome. I'm Coach Masters, and this is a C4 timeout. As simple as 1, 2, 3. Capturing the heart. Great truth. Above all else, guard your heart and the heart of others, for it is the source of life. Remember, no one really cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So as simple as 1, 2, 3. Number 1, eye contact. undivided attention. Number 2, physical contact, a good firm handshake or a hug. We are built for relationship. Number 3, inspirational contact. Your words have the power to bring life. We cannot affirm enough. John Wooden, 10-time national champion. He is the gold standard. 6 affirmations for 1 correction. That's unbelievable. Your words should bring hope, healing, and encouragement. Capturing the heart is simple as 1, 2, 3. And as we wrap up, oh, I forgot one, but it connects with our simple truth. Number 4 in C4, love never fails.
Allowing back-to-back goals causes the Cougars to call their first timeout of the half. 4:57 left in this second period. It was Bella Casolo and then Gwen Sheelan in only a matter of 63 seconds to get the Nichols Vikings back into the contest, now trailing 7-3. Surrounding the attackers has been one of the focal points for Beth Stone this year, having what she described as an unselfish supporting cast to surround the play of Casolo and Sheelan and a host of others. Claire Gordon as well on the offensive attack. But the Vikings able to get some life here offensively and get 2 goals. Now at 3 goals on 7 shots for the Vikings. Still at 7 goals on 9 shots on goal for the Cougars. Draw control is secured by the Vikings. Here is Locke. A quick swing over to Alexis Hudson. Part of the big junior class for the Vikings this year. And Boscarino. Now Sheelan. Sheelan to a running teammate in front, and it leads to another goal. Count it for Cecilia Stewart. 3 goals in a row for the Vikings. And once again, as you can see, great patience. The cross in front to Stewart. Okay, another low shot against Maravilla, and the Vikings are on a roll. Make that just the 11th goal of the season for Stewart, the senior midfielder, getting a touch in the attacking zone. And now the Vikings have scored 3 straight goals to make this a 3-goal deficit. 7-4 Cougars in front. Draw controlled. Ball take a couple bounces. Is picked up by Sarah Tracy. Away we go with the Cougars. Cougars have not scored here for nearly 4.5 minutes. As this is Violet Harrison. The cross in front. Preston Harrison now. She moves to her right. Still scanning the field. Finds the open space. Shoots. And Mayashita able to make the save. The ball is loose, so on the clear out. Mayashita has it. Now we'll try again. This time a shorter pass, taking a bounce out of bounds. Mayashita looking for her teammate on the far side of the field. The turnover sets up the Cougars here with 3:25 to go before our halftime break. This is Harrison. Violet Harrison, low shot saved by Mayashita. It is picked up by the Vikings as the Vikings trying to get in transition. Wolcott tripped from behind, and now will resume play. Wolcott against the double team. It's a long pass over to Paige Palat. Palat, a junior. Getting the pass over midfield to Casolo, already with 1 goal today. Bella getting guarded now. Defended by Caitlin Schotter. She gets the pass off. Vikings will try again. Behind the Cougars' net. Boscarino. Now Sheelan. Sheelan. Still looking for a cross in front, approaching 2 minutes left in the first half. Vikings can't get the pass in front. Tight defense on the far side from Nora Healy. Cross in, a high pass going behind Casolo. Trying to pick the ball up is the Vikings. Here is Abby Locke. Locke. Now turning, the pass goes in. Abby Locke looked like she was trying to get the pass in, but it goes to the back of the net. Instead, the Vikings will take it, now trailing by 2. Taking a look at this one again, as Locke was trying to set up Gwen Sheelan, but it's going to be a goal for Nichols number 1, Abby Locke here, with 1:44 left in the first half. Abby Locke was trying to get a pass in to Gwen Sheelan, but Locke's pass somehow ended up in the back of the net. It's a good goal for the Vikings, who have scored 4 in a row here late in the second period. And now we have a whistle. Vikings will reset. This is Newman. Newman, who got the scoring started in this second period at the 11:22 mark. Now the wraparound. Sheelan steps in, and a big save for Chloe Maravilla. Approaching our final minute of the first half, the Vikings with 5 goals in period number 2. Healy. Now setting up. This is Grace Ferraro. Now it's Preston Harrison again. 45 seconds left. Preston scanning the field towards her left. Now stepping in. Harrison, 1-on-1, spinning to her right. Recovers. Now gets the pass off to French. 25 seconds to go. French, the cross in front, a little behind for Virgilio. Here comes Evie Wolcott. Long pass in transition, a little high for Hudson. The ball bounces its way out of bounds. The Cougars will have time here for one last possession. The clock is down to 9.3 seconds left. Both teams now with 10 shots on goal apiece. Nichols with 8 of their 10 coming in this period. We're down to 2 seconds left. The clock is going to wind down. And at halftime, the Nichols Vikings have the momentum in their back pocket, now trailing the St. John the Baptist Cougars by a score of 7-5. 5 different goal scorers for the Vikings in that second period. As we said, both teams now with 10 shots on goal. Once again, our broadcast today is sponsored by the Monsignor Martin Athletic Association and its member schools, along with Logistics Plus of Buffalo. It is halftime at Canisius University. The Cougars out in front of the Vikings 7-5. We'll be right back after this short break on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
If a picture's worth 1,000 words, and you only get one chance to make a first impression, then your professional image is pretty important to your career success. Hi, I'm BJ Stack, owner of Stack Studios, proudly introducing Headshots by Stacks. Did you know that according to LinkedIn, profiles with professional headshots get 21 times more views and 36 times more direct messages? That's a lot of attention. And with a Headshot by Stacks, you can be sure that your image will be the talk of the corporate town. Every Headshot by Stacks goes through a 3-step editing process. We whiten teeth, we erase blemishes, we soften shadows, we even change out backgrounds, just to name a few. So your headshot makes a first impression that lasts. And with our headshot packages starting at just $99, it's never been more affordable for you to look your best. So, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, what are people saying about you?
.300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated, multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Buffalo, a city built by hard workers, a city of good neighbors, a city with passion. There's no place we'd rather be than in this city helping our customers. The Paul Wolf Agency. We are Buffalo.
Were you injured in a car accident? Or were you injured on the job? Don't wait. Call your patient coordinator, Tom Prince, at 716-771-9690. One of the hardest things to do is to find a physician that accepts no-fault car insurance or workers' compensation insurance. Let your patient coordinator help you find the physicians that can get you on the road to recovery.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYathletics.com. You can link me later.
WNY Athletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
And welcome back to the Dempsey Sports Complex at Canisius University, halftime of the Catholic High School New York State Class A Championship in girls lacrosse. St. John the Baptist has a 7-5 lead over Nichols. Joe Kraus with you as we take a look at the halftime highlights. Both teams had 10 shots on goal in the first half, and the Cougars jumped out to a 7-1 start through the 6-minute mark of period number 2. Sophia Virgilio with a free position opportunity, now with 4 goals in the half, as Nichols had a couple good early chances, but a couple big saves from Chloe Maravilla, Alexis Mayashita with a couple big stops for Nichols as well. Belcasolo had a good chance as well for the Vikings. And then the cross in front, which is how the Cougars built up this early lead. Some crosses in front. And also in transition, the Cougars have been dead on the money. As you could see, a late goal from Ella Tracy. Nichols able to get their part as the free position opportunity. Abby Wolcott and Ilsa Newman, great start in the first half. Newman with the free position opportunity that got things going for the Vikings in this second period. Virgilio off the nice long transition, really one of the big highlights of the game in that long transition pass from the Cougars. But Nichols, as we said, able to score 4 goals in the last 6 minutes of the first half. Gwen Sheelan with 2 of them for the Vikings, as once again the Cougars getting some nice secondary scoring behind Virgilio. Another nice drive inside. Again, it was 7-1 Cougars. Under 6 minutes left, Nichols able to get things going as Bella Casolo with the nice goal in front at the 5:54 mark. Her 27th of the year. Then a really nice wraparound from Gwen Sheeline. That was her first of the day. Another bounce in front for Cecilia Stewart at the 4:20 mark of the second period. Then the really nice goal. It was tipped in at the last second. Gwen Sheeline, her second of the day, off the pass from Abby Locke. From our vantage point, we thought Abby Locke had the nice goal, but it was tipped on the edge of the stick and converted in by Gwen Sheeline. So that is her second of the day, now with 59 on the year. And the Vikings now begin the second half of play, trailing the St. John the Baptist Cougars by a score of 7-5. Thanks again for making us part of your Monday afternoon here on Western New York Athletics. Joe Krause along with our producer Tim Gardner and our camera operator Russ Battaglia as we welcome you to the second half. Last game of the season as well for the Catholic High School New York State Class A Division. Cougars trying to go back-to-back. Nichols trying to bring home the title after finishing as finalists 3 years ago. Cougars with the opening offensive possession here in the second half. Violet Harrison navigating her way. Now here's Caitlin Schotter. Stewart in the man-to-man defense. Cougars now working behind the net. Ella Tracy. Tracy scanning the field. Again, no shot clock here in girls lacrosse. Just 4 12-minute regulation periods, along with overtime if necessary. Here, just 4 periods. Time if necessary. A high shot off the post from Preston Harrison, and the Cougars will try again. Harrison just seeing the open space on the short side against Mayashita. Cougars once again going to work. The cross in front, low shot bounces off the post. The shot taken that time by Caitlin Schotter. And here come Nichols in their defensive zone. Ball is loose briefly. It is secured by Kylie Nolan. Nolan making her way to midfield. A little bump out of bounds by Schotter in transition. And here we go again for the Vikings. Kylie Nolan getting the pass over to Bella Casolo. Casolo against the double team. Pass goes behind the net to Gwen Sheelan. Casolo again. Casolo through the middle of the zone. Now here's Stewart. Stewart already with 1 goal today for the senior group for head coach Beth Stone. Now Casolo, a flip again to Stewart. Stewart moves to her right. Stewart now swings to Hudson. Now Wolcott behind the net. Evie Wolcott, 16 goals on the year, recorded her 5th assist in the first half here today. The ball is back to Sheelan. Sheelan in her junior campaign already with 2 goals today. Sheelan showing great patience, trying to find an open teammate here, but the tight defense again from the Cougars. Sheelan now swings over to Hudson. Hudson, the cross in front. Wolcott secures, fires the shot. It goes behind. And the Vikings will have an opportunity to keep their offense possession alive. Down to 8:35 left in the third period. Still a 2-goal lead for the Cougars. Nichols knocking on the door, looking for another goal. But the ball is picked up on the far side. Great defensive effort from the Cougars. Here's Healy. Healy in transition, tripped from behind. And the Cougars will try again. Officials have indicated timeout on the field with 8:12 to go, just to make sure everyone is set before we resume play. Cougars on the far side. Violet Harrison now in the action. 33 goals, 14 assists coming in. Will be attending Rollins College next year. As their shot goes wide. Cougars will try again. Ella Tracy. Tracy moves her way. Now Preston Harrison going past Kate Jung. She takes the shot. The ball bounces all the way out. Outside of the box, and we'll try again. Here's Meg Schotter. Ricochets off of Wolcott. The ball takes a couple bounces. The Vikings have it. And then contact to the face in transition. Ilsa Newman appears to be okay after taking the contact. There'll be a 2-minute slashing penalty coming up against the Cougars. Slashing against Violet Harrison. So Nichols on the man advantage with just over 7 minutes to go here in the third period. Now here come the Vikings. Newman, her pass broken up. Then she recovers. Pass a little behind, looking for Nolan. The ball is loose just beyond midfield. The Cougars had it. Cougars in transition with Anna French. French scored a goal at the 3:33 mark of the first period. Cougars jumped out to a 3-0 start. Nichols bounced back with 5 in the second period. The Cougars still on top with this current score of 7-5. And now we have a penalty against Nichols. A hit to the head penalty called against Paige Palat. So for a minute and 41 seconds, both teams will be down a player. Now here come the Cougars. The cross inside, Virgilio trying to scoop up the ball. The defense closing in from Nichols. The ball is loose. Taking a couple bounces. It's picked up by Meg Schotter. Schotter going past Casolo. Schotter going right towards the net. Now getting the pass off. Good play. Breaking through the pressure from Meg Schotter. And it leads to another goal for the Cougars. Cougars are up by 3. Great patience after Schotter setting it up. It's going to be a goal once again for number 18, Sophia Virgilio. Make it her 5th of the contest here with 6 minutes to go in period number 3. Not sure if Nichols just lost Virgilio on the cut inside, but a big goal, first of the half for the Cougars, who go up by a score of 8-5. Draw control again. Wolcott against Sarah Tracy. Sarah has it for the Cougars, going right to left in this third period. Grace Ferraro. Now a quick swing to Anna French. French. Ball going behind for the Cougars. Ella Tracy. The cross in front. The pass is broken up by the Vikings. It goes high in the air, but still not out of the defensive zone. Great heads-up play on the defensive end from Hayden Prince, one of the top defenders for the Vikings all year. 50 seconds left in the pull-out penalty for the Vikings. It's Caitlin Schotter navigating her way. Now Sarah Tracy. Tracy, one-on-one against Evie Wolcott. Tracy backtracks, and the Cougars will try again. Now stepping in on the run against 3 defenders. Ball is loose against Violet Harrison. Harrison trying to go against 3 defenders, and now we have a stoppage. Should be a free position opportunity, or at least a reset. It's going to be a reset coming up for the Cougars. This is French. Swings to her left. The extra pass. The cross in front. Collision as Virgilio drove in towards the net. A contact is called. And this will be a free position opportunity with 4:19 left to go. Sophia Virgilio already tailing 5 goals. Her very first in this contest was a free position opportunity back in the first. Sophia steps in, shoots, low goal and in. Make it goal number 6 on the day for Sophia Virgilio with 3:59 to go in the third period. Well, folks, there's a reason why Sophia Virgilio is continuing her career next year at Connecticut College. Another low shot past Mayashita. And with that low shot past Mayashita, the Cougars now have a 9-5 lead against Nichols. Six goals overall today for Virgilio, 2 of them on free position opportunities. And just like that, the Cougars, after holding on to a 2-goal lead coming out of the break, are back up by 4. Can Nichols respond? The pass a little behind for Sheelan. And now we have another whistle as a Cougar player is shaken up. And it will be possession for the Cougars. The collision was against the Nichols. Now the Cougars have possession. Vikings trying to secure possession on the far side, but it's broken up by the Cougars still in the offensive zone. Fiona O'Connor getting tangled up and a timeout. Beg your pardon, just a restart. And now Nichols has possession. This is Ritling. Getting bumped from behind by French. There'll be a reset for Nichols. Vikings still looking for their first shot out of the halftime break. They posted 8 of their 10 in the second period. High pass a little behind Mia Kessler and a Vikings turnover. Nichols was trying to work the ball on the far side of the field right in front of the Cougar sideline. But possession goes back in favor of the Cougars as we approach 2 minutes left in the third period. And a violation against the Cougars. And the Cougars coaching staff is not happy with the last call. Here's Nichols. Another stoppage. Now here's Stewart. Stewart. Now Ritling. Ritling making her way, looking for the pass a little high for Hudson. And it is a Nichols turnover. 90 seconds to go in the third period. Gia Semino makes her way to midfield. Gia with 1 goal back in the second period for the Cougars. Part of their early 7-1 start. Anna French. Now Sarah Tracy. Swings to her left. Schotter with the quick pass to French. 50 seconds to go. Ball is loose. Picked up by Nichols as Gia Semino is shaken up. Here come the Vikings. Kessler trying to get the pass off, but she stepped out of bounds. This will be Cougars' ball. 30 seconds to go. And more contact on the near side. As it was Abby Locke of Nichols and Sarah Tracy getting tangled up. Good crowd on hand. And we resume play. Under 15 seconds left. Scooped up again by the Vikings. Here's Ilsa Newman. Newman getting pressure by Sarah Tracy. Vikings still have possession. Last 2 seconds of the period. The Vikings will hold. And we head into the fourth period of the Catholic High School New York State Class A Championship. The Cougars of St. John the Baptist High School looking to go back-to-back. They're holding on to a 9-5 lead against the Nichols Vikings. We'll be right back for the finish on Western New York Athletics.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYathletics.com. You can link me later.
WNY Athletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Were you injured in a car accident? Or were you injured on the job? Don't wait. Call your patient coordinator, Tom Prince, at 716-771-9690. One of the hardest things to do is to find a physician that accepts no-fault car insurance or workers' compensation insurance. Let your patient coordinator help you find the physicians that can get you on the road to recovery.
And welcome back to the Dempsey Sports Complex at Canisius University. St. John the Baptist with a 9-5 lead over Nichols. Thanks again for making us part of your Monday afternoon on Western New York Athletics. However you are listening, wherever you are listening, thanks for making us part of your day as we are streaming live on the Western New York Athletics Facebook page, X page, and YouTube. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe and give us a follow and tell your friends about Western New York Athletics. St. John the Baptist, the Cougars, as we said, coming in today as the defending Class A Catholic State champions, only their second year playing in Class A. The Cougars now with 12 shots on goal and also had the only 2 shots in that third period. Nichols was held scoreless and shotless in the third period against Chloe Maravella and the defense of the Cougars. So right now, if you're keeping track at home, the Cougars now have 12 shots on goal, converting 9 of them. And Nichols now with still 5 goals on 10 shots and none here in the second half of play. And a reminder, no shot clock, 12-minute period. And a reminder, after today's contest, be sure to stick around and visit those social media pages from Western New York Athletics as we will have a post-game interview with the winning coach and players of the game. Back for the draw control to start the fourth period. It is Sarah Tracy once again for the Cougars going into the contest, winning 71 draw controls on the year in her junior campaign. And Elsa Newman ready for the draw control for the Vikings. It is picked up by Nichols, trailing by 4. Gwyn Sheeling wasting a little time. The pass to Gasol, the cross a little behind Gwyn. It was shaken up. And Nichols will have an opportunity. Gwyn Sheeling, 59 goals so far in her junior campaign, 2 coming today. Vikings looking to convert on their first free position opportunity of the afternoon. Sheelan takes a few steps instead. Getting the pass off. Spinning away. Low shot. It won't go as Newman was shaken up. The ball is loose on the end line. One-on-one battle. It is picked up by the Cougars. A good box out from Emily Dolpiez. Vikings still fighting for possession, though, in their offensive zone. Spinning away and drawing contact is Semino. Dolpiez. Long pass in transition. Now it's French. Here's Violet Harrison. Now Tracy. Now Schotter. Back to Tracy. Quick swing. Gia Semino. Now back over to Sarah Tracy. Cougars winding down some clock here as we're approaching 2 minutes into the fourth period. Schotter. Swings over to Sarah Tracy. Now Violet Harrison stepping in through the heart of the defense. Gets a shot off through a host of Viking defenders. The ball is loose and picked up by Evie Wolcott. Wolcott gets a little bump in transition. Vikings will try again. 9:48 left to play. The Cougars with a 9-5 lead. Prince making her way towards midfield, and she crosses over. Prince still showing a burst of speed. Prince on the near side of Maravilla, still in net for the Cougars here. Maravilla with 5 saves so far in this championship game. Casolo now for the Vikings. Her pass intercepted and going down the length of the field. Picking it up is Gia Semino. Semino now taking Wolcott with her. Semino driving the pass over. Low shot. Saved by Mayashita. The shot from Ella Tracy. Ball is still loose. Picked up by the Cougars. Here is Violet Harrison. Great play on the defensive end for the Cougars. Now they'll wind down the clock once more. Ella Tracy. The cross in front, and it leads to the goal for Caitlin Schotter. Schotter at the 8:24 mark. Cougars up by 5. Great vision once again by Tracy to set up Caitlin Schotter, number 10, with the big-time goal with 8:24 left in the 4th period. Once again, the crosses, trying to defend the crosses, has been the kryptonite here for Nichols this afternoon. St. John the Baptist just taking advantage once again in front. Only the 8th goal of the season for Caitlin Schotter. Part of the senior class for head coach Janine Perrone. Won't be the last time that you'll likely hear the name Caitlin Schotter. She'll be playing soccer next year at Mount St. Mary. Now 8 minutes away from going back-to-back state champions in her 4-year career on the lacrosse field with the Cougars. .755 and ticking. Off the screen. Driving in. Low shot. Taking a bounce from the stick of French. Cougars will try again. Nichols needs a stop. The cross in front. Virgilio. It's good to go. Sophia Virgilio off the pass from who else? Ella Tracy. And the Cougars are back up by 6. Once again, Sophia Virgilio being in the right place at the right time, having those instincts, if you will, off the pass from Ella Tracy. Just those great instincts, able to tack on another goal with 7:34 to go. Make that 7 goals on the day for Sophia Virgilio. 2 of them on free position opportunities. Ella Tracy recording another assist on her day. And with 7:39 to go, the Cougars of St. John the Baptist High School down in Long Island have an 11-5 lead. Another draw control in favor of the Cougars. Caitlin Schotter. Now Gia Semino. Semino swings over to French. French looks. Here is Ella Tracy. The cross in front. Running in and scoring. It is Anna French, her second of the day. It is all Cougars late in the second half. They're now up 12-5 with 7:10 to go. Taking a look again, Anna French. Again, crossing in the heart of the defense, finding the open space. When you get those open spaces, it leads to good opportunities. And the Nichols Vikings have now called a timeout. 7:10 to go. We'll be right back after this short break on Western New York Athletics.
If a picture's worth 1,000 words and you only get one chance to make a first impression, then your professional image is pretty important to your career success.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
7:10 left in the fourth period. St. John the Baptist on top of Nichols 12-5. You are watching the Catholic High School New York State Class A Championship. Western New York Athletics, and the Cougars making their first ever trip to Buffalo and Western New York, trying to hold on and secure and go back-to-back here in Class A in New York State. It was a bus ride of over 7 hours, and they only had to make 2 stops on the way up to Buffalo. A Monday afternoon. And the Cougars have been clicking offensively after that lull there in the second period. Now 12 goals on 15 shots. Nichols is still scoreless and shotless in this second half. Again, it was 5 goals on 8 shots for the Vikings to make this a 7-5 halftime deficit. But the Cougars pushed away, still on the prowl and getting 5 goals here in the second half of action. Back to the draw control we go. Sophia Virgilio with a game-high 7 goals so far. Gwen Sheelan with 2 goals to lead the way for Nichols. Vikings still looking for their first goal since Sheelan's second of the day at the 1:44 mark of the second period. Vikings win the draw control. This is Bella Casolo getting pressured along by Caitlin Schotter. Here's Haley Ritling. Now Casolo. Now Sheelan. Vikings need a quick goal here, as our game clock is now down to 6:40. Abby Locke. Now Gwen Sheelan. Sheelan looking for a cross in front, but the Cougars doing well defensively. This is Sheelan. Now the pass to Locke. 6 minutes to play here in Buffalo. Locke again. Trying to get the cross in front to Wolcott, but it's broken up by the Cougars. The ball goes back to Hudson of the Vikings. Vikings will try again. Blink of an eye, the clock down now to 5:40 left in regulation time. Sheelan. Now Casolo. Casolo taking it herself. The quick pass over, low shot, it bounces wide. Good effort trying to set up, looked like Hudson on the play. The Vikings will try again. We're down to 5:15 to play, and it leads to the goal for Nichols. And Gwen Sheelan gets her hat trick and 60th goal of the season. Nice cross in front. So the Nichols Vikings get a goal with 5:14 left to play. Going through nearly 2 periods before the Vikings could get a goal and a shot off. Our deficit is cut to 6. With just over 5 minutes left to play. Once again, a big thank you to our sponsor for our broadcast today, the Monsignor Martin Athletic Association and its member schools, along with Logistics Plus of Buffalo. Violet Harrison. Now Anna French. Here's Ella Tracy. Violet Harrison again. Now Anna French on the far side. Gia Semino. Now Preston Harrison. Now a touch again for French. Now Violet Harrison. Approaching 4 minutes to play. Violet Harrison runs it, shoots, and scores. Violet Harrison, the senior attacker, gets her first of the day for the Cougars. Once again, Violet Harrison heading on to another goal. Quick move and go right towards the net for the Cougars. This was quick movements right towards the net for the Cougars here today, helping them expand their lead to 7. 34th of the season for the senior, Violet Harrison, and the Cougars inching their way closer to defending their state title. 4:06 to play. Draw control won by the Vikings. This is Evie Wolcott. Wolcott going past Tracy. Wolcott navigating her way towards the net. Trying to get a pass off. It's broken up, but picked up by the Vikings. This is Abby Locke. Now Bella Casola. Now Cecilia Stewart. Vikings will try again. 3.5 to play. Now Locke. Vikings trying to create some space in front of Maravilla, but tight defense again from the Cougars. Locke spins to her left. Now Wolcott. Evie Wolcott. 1-on-1. Now a tight switch from the Cougars. Wolcott getting pushed back. Under 3 minutes to go. Wolcott now getting the pass off. Here's Sheelan. Sheelan turns. Ball is loose. A stoppage on the field. 2:40 and ticking here in regulation as Gwen Sheelan get ready to wind up for the free position opportunity. Stepping in, shooting, it bounces in and good. Make it the 4th of the day for Gwen Sheelan with 2:22 to play. You can see stepping in, finding her target, the lower left corner of the net, and that's the fourth of the day for Gwen. 4 on the day, 61 on the year, and she'll be back next year for the Vikings. Ball control won by the Cougars. Violet Harrison. Now Caitlin Schotter. Now Violet Harrison. Violet Harrison swings to Anna French. French now getting the pass over. Stepping in, shooting. It's saved by Mayashita. Good shot from Preston Harrison. And the Cougars will try again. 90 seconds left to play here at the Dempsey Sports Complex at Canisius University in Buffalo, New York. Through the pressure, Cougars trying to wind down this clock here. Here's French. Now Tracy. Sarah Tracy, a sophomore, had a great game today for the Cougars, keeping the ball moving. A reset coming in our last minute of play here in Buffalo. Violet Harrison. Clock is down to 47.3. Beg your pardon, 46 seconds as we're winding down a reset for the Cougars. Here's Violet Harrison. Now Sarah Tracy. Back to Harrison. Harrison turns. She spins away. Under 30 seconds to go. Driving in. Low shot. Ball still behind the Nichols net. 15 seconds and ticking. Down to 5 seconds. Stepping in Virgilio against a double team. Time has stopped with 0.6 of a second on the scoreboard here at Canisius University. Sophia Virgilio was on the drive. Are they going to give her an opportunity? There was a penalty called against Nichols. Again, only 0.6 of a second. But Sophia Virgilio is getting ready to attempt a third free position opportunity today. Already with 7 goals here in her final campaign, final contest with the Cougars. Virgilio steps in, shoots. It is saved. But St. John the Baptist has gone back-to-back in the Class A Catholic High School New York State Tournament. The Cougars with a final score of 13-7 over the Nichols Vikings. The Cougars finished the year at 7-13 overall, getting 7 goals from Sophia Virgilio, a commit to Connecticut College next year. The Nichols Vikings representing Western New York on this grand stage, wrapping up the year at 15-2. Final shots on goal. The Cougars with 17, the Vikings with 12. Once again, our final score, St. John the Baptist going back-to-back in the Catholic High School New York State Class A Tournament. 13-7 is our final. For our producer, Tim Gardner, and our cameraman, Russ Battaglia, this is Joe Kraus signing off. We thank you all for watching today here on Western New York Athletics.